when a group of peace kids unfurled the banner of hope in the Kremlin for President Mikhail Gorbachev. The Soviet leader not only welcomed them at a huge event in Moscow, he also later signed the Declaration of Independence.
Rosa, you're 4. 5.
Okay,
6.
This was my 34th trip around the world and my 3rd trip to Beijing. The first one in 1983, actually Christmas of 1983, was a miracle. We were received in the Great Hall of the People by Premier Zhao, incredible man. We were with him for 2 hours.
I'm asking if you would be the first world leader to sign our Declaration of Independence scroll.
And he signed our Declaration of Independence. So it's very important that on this trip, I felt, that we have the new leaders sign.
Air conditioning.
After a 15-hour flight and filled with anticipation, the Peace Kids stepped off the plane into a wall of heat. At 8 o'clock in the evening, the temperature was 100 degrees with 98% humidity.
The night I arrived, I just felt like, oh my God, ugh. I was just so hot and so tired.
When I got off the plane, I was like breathing like hell because it was so humid and I wasn't used to it and hot. And like right as I got off, I started sweating right away and it's hard to breathe and stuff. I think it was like 100 or something. It was really hot.
I watched for the banner of hope. And when that banner finally appeared on the carousel, I thought, oh yes, we've got it made. This is wonderful. It was such a breakthrough because the last time I'd been there, they wouldn't even let the banner of hope out of customs. There was a group of people meeting us. They were from the All China Women's Federation, and that's a VIP group. So I thought, well, hey, we're on our way, hopefully.
The Peace Kids arrived at an auspicious moment, on a night of a full lunar eclipse. Astrologers said that a blood-red moon could signify huge social changes.
And it's a pity that in the past few days, it is very, very hot in Beijing. And I was told tomorrow is about 37 centigrade.
After only a few hours' sleep, the Peace Kids were on the move again. Their hosts had planned a very busy schedule for the 5-day visit. It was Beijing's hottest summer in 50 years, but no one wanted to miss the chance to see the legendary Forbidden City.
The day we went to the Forbidden City was really hot and no one could really do anything and everyone was walking so slow and they couldn't move or anything. Everyone was red, everyone was sweating, like people looked like they were crying.
That was the hottest weather I've ever been in my entire life. I still wish we would have stayed there longer. I could have standed the heat, but I really wanted to see more of it.
But it was probably the fastest trip in history through the Forbidden City. The kids couldn't wait to get back on the air-conditioned bus.
我们这个接待是接待了许多友好的国家和往来，可是接待孩子们，我们还是第一次。
Our federation has been engaged in the friendly relations work with a lot of organizations in foreign countries, but it is our first time to have so many lovely kids to visit our office building.
That afternoon, Pat and the children had a chance to visit with their hosts, the All China Women's Federation. This was her first opportunity since arriving in Beijing to ask them for help in getting the declaration signed and the banner of hope unfurled.
These women are very powerful, and the head of the foundation can get things done. I just kept pressing and pressing and pressing. You do what you have to do to try to make things happen. All right, I would like for you children to ask whatever questions you wish to ask.
If you have more than one kid, then what's the punishment for that?
In China, every year we have the newly born infants of 13 million. That means every year our population is increasing by 13 million. So China is under a very heavy pressure of population, of overpopulated. So we must do a lot of education work. And so family planning is one of the basic state policy of China.
How do you see American children different from Chinese children?
我想不论是美国的小朋友还是中国的小朋友，
I think both American kids and Chinese kids are very intelligent, lovely, and active. The only difference is the color of the skin and the language we speak.
Yes, and that's always the only difference.
但是这个永远都是唯一的不同。
All over the world.
So I think that children are always pure and naive. So it is the responsibility of the adults to educate them.
And the children would like to show you the declaration if they may.
他说那个就是我知道呢，就是我们曾经跟你讲过，然后呢，你们肯定也进行了很多努力。但
The banner is half a mile with names of children from all across the planet who have been murdered. And it's very important that it be presented in Beijing as it's been presented at the United Nations and many other places. And we very much appreciate your help in helping us do this. I think they were amazed at what it is. People don't understand the power of it. So that was the first move I made to get the banner unfurled on the Great Wall of China.
Pat's request to have the declaration signed was politely declined, as all her requests had been before the trip began. And her hosts were also evasive about when or even if she'd be permitted to unfurl the banner. That evening, a huge honor was bestowed on the group. An invitation to a reception and banquet in the Great Hall of the People.
When we went to the Great Hall and had a banquet there and had 9 courses of dinner, and we had little servants for each of us that would come, and you just just call one of them and they would come and give you what you want. And just like a restaurant, but having your own personal one, which there's so many of them dressed the same, that was really a privilege.
Again, Pat showed the Declaration of Dependence to the powerful leaders in attendance. And again, the request to have the declaration signed was met with gracious equivocation.
After meeting with so many world leaders and having so much success, I'm perceived to be some kind of miracle worker. I'm an instrument, but I'm not a miracle worker. So whatever happens is what happens, and we go with it, and we know it's for a higher good.
The next day began in the Great Hall of the People, where Mao Zedong and his supporters changed the course of history. The peacemakers had been invited to attend a reading awards ceremony honoring children from all over China. Without warning, Pat was asked if one of the peace kids would speak from the podium to the 10,000 Chinese children in the Great Hall. On the spot, she and David wrote the speech.
Greetings from the children of the United States. Children as the peacemakers are honored to be here in the Great Hall of the People. This place is really awesome. We have come on a mission of peace and friendship. Long live the friendship between the children and the people of the United States and China.